Hello and welcome to Capacity TV. My name is Natalie Bannerman, Deputy Editor at Capacity Magazine. We are here live at ITW 2022 and I am delighted to be joined by Matteo Gatta, CEO of BICS. Matteo, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Natalie, for having me.
Absolutely.
Very happy to have a chat today.
Absolutely. So there's been a lot going on with BICS, and I think one of the most prominent pieces of news that we've had from you guys has been the initiation of the Ukraine to Russia roaming agreement. And I was curious to know what part BICS has played in that.
Well, as basically mentioned in our call for action, which now has been very much picked up by also European regulators and eventually the Commission, is that we want to enable communications and we want to make sure communications are free or near free for the caller, but also for the receiver that is in roaming. So I think on one side you have the retail operators, so the domestic operators that have to drop charges, but they also at some point need to, the entire end-to-end chain need to be affordable economically and need to work technically, because in the disrupted operations that we have seen, the Ukrainian operator have done an excellent job to make sure the infrastructure is there for the communication to flow. We believe a lot in communication as a way to express emotion, but also perhaps to settle conflict at some point.
But that groundbreaking kind of call for action leading to that agreement, I think a lot of people would be curious to know what monetary value that has had, or even, I suppose, just a personal value that has had to the refugees and those who have been using it.
Well, first of all, it has a lot of personal value, I would say the emotional value, because we felt we had to be very close to our to Ukrainian people. Actually, BICS, as part of its operation, outsourced to a player in Ukraine. So we have teams actually that have moved towards Poland and Western Ukraine right ahead of the war disruption. So those teams are integrated within BICS operations. We managed to ensure continuity. So we felt since the beginning a strong emotional attachment to that, to what they went through, they are going through at the moment still. So we decided to launch this call for action. Now, the monetary value is, I would say, rather than that, we should talk about what is enabled in terms of more traffic. And we have seen increases in traffic, so increases in communications, meaning increase in people talking one another. That's very important. So we had probably, it really depends on the various corridor from Ukraine and several countries, but sometimes twice, three times the volumes of calls. So that's really critical. So we, as a BICS, we said, if the operator on both sides decide to drop the termination charges, we will drop the cost to carry. But we stayed there very closely to enable those connections, those corridors, because we have the engine platform, the billing platform to ensure that. We did it very fast, and we did it with strong collaboration with our customers in Europe and our customers in Ukraine.
That piece of news aside, it's also been generally a very good year for BICS, in terms of business all round. So maybe you could talk to us a little bit about, strategic priorities for the company in the next, 12 months or so.
Yeah, BICS is doing very well actually. So we have started our Transform to Grow strategy last year. And we said we need to make sure our foundations are right, because as we move out of COVID, we will have some tailwind due to recovery of international traveling. We know this is a business that, on the top line numbers, is actually a slowly declining business, but actually we prepared ourselves to handle that even better from a profitability perspective. So our numbers are disclosed as a part of Proximus disclosure, so we are 100% Proximus. We also developed a new set of product and further developed our enterprise proposition, so proposition for digital enterprise and enterprise software provider in the area of cloud communications. We have also announced the part of our revenue which comes from a new segment, new digital enterprise segment, and this is growing. So we have ourselves created the opportunity not only to continue to optimize on our operating leverage, and so sustaining margin, but also find ourselves an opportunity to grow part of our business.
I was just going to say, congratulations, on growing your digital enterprise segment. That's huge news, and I think it's certainly a sector that a lot of the carrier community is seeing a lot of progress in. So well done for that. Of course, I mentioned at the beginning we are here at ITW 2022. How has the conference been for you, and what's it like being back in person? I'm sure you've been to other events, but maybe this one was a little bit special. I don't know.
This is a special event. First of all, the location is very sunny. It's very helpful. In a way, sunlight is very important, especially coming from Europe, because we just went out of COVID to enter a disrupted area by war. So here looks like a small island of peace, sunny. No, I think, let's say that if you stop for a moment, you look around, you look at the people, you see them smiling. That's really great. They rediscover one another. Customer relationship, they've been there, they've been nurtured throughout the COVID, but they are there now to grow further, right? So it's really critical. People see each other again. That's very important. This is a business where long-term relationships are the determinant to success. So this is a great event. We see a lot of people. We see them happy. That's great.
Well, I'm sure we'll be catching up with you soon, Matteo, but thank you so much for taking the time. It's been great speaking to you.